journey where we are going to get into some of mine and Chris's prized, most favorite information that we are super enthusiastic about sharing with you, because we've seen what the potential is possible for thousands of people with the information we're going to share with you. So it's actually just going to be me tonight, but not to worry. We will have a great time. So go ahead, get yourself comfortable, wear whatever you want. I can't see you. Get some water. We'll talk about some stuff specifically. So I invite you to be open-minded and allow me to share some stuff with you that's near and dear to my heart. And let's just see how it works for you. So just hang tight while I get the technology deal down real quick, and we'll go ahead and share some slides and we'll get to rolling. All right. Tonight's theme is you can feel better right now without breaking a sweat, which goes against many contrary popular beliefs, and mine too, up until a few years ago. I was always under the impression that in order to feel better, you got to be breaking a sweat and doing workouts, and there's a lot more to it than just that. And we're going to share with you that stuff that is possible to do that. So we invite you specifically to be fully present as we share this wisdom with you. Give yourself permission to turn off your phone, unplug for a moment, and give this time to yourself. Close your Facebook, go where it's quiet. I invite you to get some water now, because if you can see me, I have 2 different jugs of water, and I will also be drinking water very often throughout this conversation, so that I will give you cues to drink water yourself, because it helps you to stay alert, gives your body and your mind energy, and it's one of your most important nutrients. Next to air, it's the second thing you die without. So I invite you to encourage you to take some notes. If something resonates with you, write it down. You will have so much more retention if you write it down, especially using it pencil pen kind of a deal, like old school, so to speak. There's a lot of neuro associations and neurotransmitting capabilities when you're actually writing versus just typing. It's a big deal. A lot of studies going into that, but here we go. So today is all we have, meaning give yourself permission to do something now that you will thank yourself for tomorrow. If you're looking to have a great future, guess how that great future starts? By doing things right now that allow you to position yourself in that manner. So you always hear Chris and I talk about right now is the only time that we have. And literally it is. Yesterday will never happen again unless you keep reliving it. And tomorrow may never come. You know, just this year, I lost my brother. I was hanging out with him the day before he passed, and he was completely healthy, and just bam, gone that fast. So I invite you to consider that you're not on this training by perhaps. This is a reason God has you and I connected right here, right now, to share this moment with each other. And I'm honored that you're actually taking the time and investing it in yourself through me. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty excited about this information, because if you saw me sitting in my chair, I'm rocking back and forth. So let's get to rolling. So here we go. I have a special bonus for you at the end. It's going to be actually pretty exciting. So if you do make it to the end, which I highly encourage you to do so, there is something that could potentially change your life that is I'm giving to you as my gift for you riding it out and investing this time in yourself. We'll make it fast. We'll be done in 45 minutes or so or less. So here's a little bit of background on Chris and I, okay? We have been blessed to speak at many places, a lot of state agencies, a lot of public venues. Here's some pictures so we can kind of give you some ideas of some stuff that Chris and I are passionate about. So up on the left, that's my friend and my client, Jonathan Sprinkles. He is an international public speaker, was just on Steve Harvey's show, has been on Dr. Phil's, been on Oprah, and the man is amazing. Like, I get to help him and his staff handle all of his nutrition while he travels to keep him spick and span. That's also one of my coaches for public speaking. That top picture up on with Chris and I, that's him and I at Life Austin, one of our churches, or Christian church actually, where we do talks all the time. And we do series a lot like what we're talking about now. And if you look a little deeper into that picture, you're going to see a red velvet cupcake and a heart-shaped pizza. And I believe that's important because a lot of people always ask me, Brian, how do you stay in great shape and eat cupcakes and pizza? Well, I'm going to show you how to do the same thing. It's possible. You don't have to give it up. That picture on the far right on the top, that's Chris speaking at Monsanto. There's an event every year called March Against Monsanto, which is all about genetically modified food awareness, and he gets invited to go out there and speak at the Capitol. So it's a huge honor for him, and both of us really just grateful to be able to serve and to be able to share the knowledge that God has blessed us with to enrich your life, to help your family, to get you off medications, to help your mindset, to help you thrive today. That picture with me in the middle right there, that's actually at the Evada Institute. I get asked to come out and speak once or twice a year out there to the student body on detoxification and get into skincare and about cucumbers and all the stuff that I share with you. So that's a huge honor for me. Now, here's another thing. That picture on the bottom, that is literally in the jungle of Cancun, Mexico. There's jungle all around that, but that's where I was at the beginning of this year doing personal development out there in the middle of nowhere with my coaches, an hour and a half away from any civilization. No phones, no nothing. Chris and I put ourselves into personal development situations a lot. To him and I, that is our most prized way to learn to share with you. My knowledge and information and wisdom is my most valuable asset outside of my health that we take as a massive priority. So we do this so that we can stay on top and understand the most about ourselves so that we can show up and support you on a level that is beyond our understanding. And it's really God working through us to support you. So understand, whatever your perception of us is, whether you think we're perfect and have never had any flaws, well, let me go ahead and debunk that and tell you what we have done wrong. So many years ago, I say many years ago, probably 5, you see that picture right there, that big inside gym. Well, we actually were partners in a gym where we would run workout classes, and we would go to the state buildings and teach personal training classes and group classes like Chris is doing boxing right there, and that's our walking group. We did this for probably a good 2 years. And what we found is that you could personal train someone to the ground, or basically with the whole intention of helping them to resurrect whatever patterns and create the body that they desire. But we would always find that no matter what, people would still be sabotaging themselves consistently, have their diet down. They would start making bad choices, and they would just consistently show up and sabotage themselves because of what was functioning emotionally. This is your cue to take a drink. So what we found is that wasn't the way that we desired to go, because anytime you're sitting one-on-one, I mean, one-on-one is great, but you can't really reach a lot of people at one time. So God started giving us more information and more ideas, and this is why we're delivering this information through this vehicle to support you this way, because it's the fastest and easiest to get the information to you and to support you on your journey. We discovered this the hard way. We're going to give you the opportunity to have the easy way. Here's what we found after 40 years. So one thing you should know about Chris and I is that we have a combined experience level of over 20 years. We've worked with over 15,000 people. I alone have over 70,000 hours invested in this. I started doing this when I was 7. This is what I've done my whole life. So when I say this is it for me, this is it for me. Like, I am being completely aligned and completely honest when I tell you that this is the most exciting thing for me to do right now, is to share this information, what I love, with you, doing this right here. This is it for me, okay? A lot of people can't say that. I work with a ton of people who hate what they do, and we'll discuss that too. So over the 40 years, here's what we found. We have found that the power of grocery store foods is unspoken about and should be spoken about because of the massive difference that it will make in your life. Okay, I have seen too many situations to not talk about it on the level and the passion that I'm going to explain it to you about. Okay, also, we have found that the power of our subconscious and conscious minds is amazing when it's tapped into and understood how to get it to work and how to get them to both line up. It's kind of like this. If you think about your stomach and how you may have butterflies. Well, you can never get rid of the butterflies. Your whole objective should be to just get them all going in the right direction or the same direction. That's the same way with our subconscious and conscious minds, in which we'll get into a little bit more. So we'll also notice the power of our spoken words. Our spoken words literally are a self-fulfilling prophecy, good or bad. What you say is what you get. 85% of our communication is non-verbal body language. You're going to find that even though we're talking and being able to support people with cancer, Parkinson's, and AIDS nutritionally and through, reversal things and holistic information, my passion is body language. How to understand what people's itches and scratches are, and how to connect with myself and understand what my body is telling me, and then also how to create deeper connections with the people that I get to serve and come into contact with by understanding this stuff. The next one that we found is that the power of being aligned with our true purpose and nature is amazing. If you're noticing that your life is hard and there's a lot of strife and there's a lot of uneasy and you're not happy, guess what? You're not aligned with your purpose and your true nature as a spirit being. And we'll talk about that. So the easy way does not require you to break a sweat. How counterintuitive does that sound? Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a moment and choose for you to give yourself permission to imagine this. Imagine that you have more energy than you've had in years. Like maybe just take a look back, maybe in high school, or maybe just a couple years ago, maybe for you. Maybe you're in phenomenal shape right now, or maybe you haven't been in shape in years. Go to the time in your life when you had the most energy and put yourself right there and just think about how different your life would be right now if you could regather and recreate that energy in your life right now. Imagine how you'd feel and what you'd get done. Imagine wearing the clothes that you wore when you were at your best. Well, I don't know about you, but I have clothes all the way up to size XXX, all the way down to size 28 waist pants. I have been 263 times, and I can tell you that I understand the pains and the issues and the subconscious patterns and sabotage that goes along with yo-yo dieting and yo-yo weight loss and gain. I understand and feel your pain. Now, just imagine right now, maybe you're not in a position where you would like to be, and you're like, man, Brian, I've been trying for years. I hear you. I have a coach that helps me with my nutrition, so I get out of my own way. I have 6 coaches at all times for different areas of my life. They are invaluable to me, and I will consistently invest in my coaches because of how they allow me to show up for you, for myself, and for my family. But just imagine wearing the clothes you haven't worn in years. Imagine not having to suck in your stomach and button your clothes. And I say that because I've had to do that. I've had to unbutton mine and unzip them after I ate before, so I get it. Imagine if you're right now listening to this and you are in so much pain consistently, daily, and you've been to the doctor and they're giving you medication after medication, and nothing is different, and you take another medication to reverse the symptoms of the first medication, and it's just a snowball, and you're not getting any alleviance, and you're investing this time and your money and your hard-earned energy in a medical practice. Okay, it's a practice, and there's nothing wrong with them, and there is some other ways that we're going to share with you. So just imagine being pain-free. You wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I feel amazing. No neck pain, no leg pain, no calf pain, no ankle pain. I can move freely. What would that create in your life? How would that enhance your relationships? How would that enhance your job or your ability to show up fully in your life for yourself? Just imagine that. Imagine that your relationships are more connected than ever before. Maybe you've got some broken relationships with, I'm going to say, ex-partners, and I'm going to invite you to think about this. Try the word former partners. It takes the sting off of it, okay? Imagine that you're able to reconnect and truly forgive and move through the anger and give yourself permission to love yourself so you can show up fully in your life right now. That's the only time that you have. Imagine that, restoring your connections with your mom and dad, even if they're passed on and in basically heaven, wherever they're at, okay? You can connect still spiritually and forgive them and still create that communion without that necessarily being there, with them being here physically speaking, okay? Imagine that you no longer require medications to manage your symptoms. And this is such a huge one because I work with a lot of people. I mean, I work with some people who are pretty bad off health-wise. And I'm like, look, if you just trust me what I'm telling you, implement some things, you may be very well surprised at how much wisdom and how wise God is with his foods and how they affect your body and how they create no toxicity on top of that. Okay? You're gonna hear from couple of our clients that have had amazing stories today during this conversation, so you understand what's available to you. Imagine this. This is probably the biggest one of all. Imagine that you can immediately recognize words of self-sabotage and turn them into words of self-empowerment. I'll be completely honest with you, 100%. Our words is the biggest deal of all, because by your words you are justified and by your words you are condemned, meaning you could be saying things consistently daily that are absolutely sabotaging you and setting you up for failure, and you have no idea. You just know that things aren't going right, you can't catch a break, and your life sucks, or maybe you feel you're the victim. Whatever that may be, I promise you there's an upside to this that is greater than you and I could ever imagine when we're aligned. Here's your cue to get a drink. And disclaimer, you may know this already, but just in case you don't, Chris and I are not doctors. We advise you to have a conversation with your doctor and to relay any information that you may get from us or any health program, just to get their opinion on what you should do. But ultimately understand this, and this is the real truth, this real talk, as we say. Every time you walk by a mirror and you see that awesome man or woman in there, you make sure you tell them you love them first off. And you also look them in the eye and say, you know what? You are responsible for you and your health and no one else. And I invite you to step into that role fully today and watch how your life change. Here's a little background on me. I am 37 years young and I have not been to the doctor since I was 13. I don't get sick. And I'm not saying that as a pat on the back. I'm saying that because I understand when I start to feel symptoms, I know what to do to change it. And I know how to keep my body thriving consistently by my thoughts, by my foods, by my actions, and my daily lifestyle to support me not getting ill. When people come home with the flu and all the bugs in my house, I don't get sick. I'm like, look, I'm telling you, I'm not going to get sick. So we can help you do that too. So here's our secrets. Everyone likes secrets, especially secrets at work. And out of the 70,000 hours, here's what it's boiled down to. These 3 secrets are my most prized that I'm sharing specifically with you that could change your life if you decide to step up and use them and be open-minded to what I'm telling you. Because check it out. Our minds are like parachutes, and parachutes only work when they're what? Open. Make sure, give yourself permission to open your mind to listen to what I'm saying and take whatever beliefs and whatever doubts and whatever criticisms or whatever may come up and just say, it's okay. I'm just going to put that. I'm going to suspend it over here and put it on this little shelf. I'm not taking it away from you. We're just going to see what Brian has to say here and see if this is logical, if it resonates, and see how I feel about it in my body and my spirit, which is where your true test is. And I'm going to teach you how to check in with your body. Okay. So the first secret, you can reverse symptoms and medication with grocery store foods. Secret number 2, you can recognize self-sabotage by your body language and your language or word choice and transform it immediately into self-empowerment. Secret number 3, you can actually choose to make it fun and easy. It does not have to be difficult. Okay? So here is a pretty awesome word, and that word is called iatrogenesis. My question to you is have you ever heard of this term before? Well, if you haven't, that's quite okay. Because as a health and wellness professional, I barely heard that term 2 years ago. I have well over 20 some odd certifications from Baylor Sports Medicine, National Academy of Sports Medicine, Institute of Integrative Nutrition, all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying that as woe as me. I'm just saying I've been exposed to a lot of information, wisdom, and people, and I have never heard that until 2 years ago. And we're going to talk about what it means here shortly. Here's what we're going to do first. We're going to talk about the current state that our country is in. And these are actually good. We just changed these. They just updated them, which is crazy. It's 2015. So 2013 is what we got. So here's the order in which the deaths rate per item. Heart disease, a little over 600,000. Cancer, approaching fast, 580,000. Chronic lower respiratory diseases, almost 150,000. Stroke, almost 130,000. Alzheimer's, almost 85,000. Diabetes, almost 76,000. Influenza and pneumonia, almost 57,000. Now, the next statistic, 350,000 deaths per year are linked to overweight and obesity. Completely reversible and unnecessary. Here's the next one. It's an estimated 220 to 448,000 deaths are preventable from medical errors, which terminology-wise represents iatrogenic deaths. Now, I don't know about you, but I kind of find it a little bit of a smack in the face that this specific term is kind of hidden from normal Google searches. If you understand iatrogenic deaths, then you're obviously going to get this information. But if you never heard of that before in the first place, it's not like you can go to Google and say, how many medical system errors are resulted in death in such and such years? That doesn't happen. So I automatically feel kind of pulled one over, I guess. And it's kind of not so fun. So what our whole objective is, you know what, I'll be honest with you. I love the medical system in certain ways because it has saved my many friends' lives, for that matter. And I believe there's a lot of information that goes untouched, like your food, your water, your thoughts, your mindset, your body language, things like that that make complete logical sense to me that would be addressed to help you integrate full health into your mind, body, and spirit and into your lifestyle. But here's the good news. 90% of these deaths and symptoms are preventable by better lifestyle choices. What Chris and I specifically focus on is air, water, food, and consciousness as our tools by which we share and educate information. And the reason being is because these are the things in order of how we would die without first. Air number 1, water number 2, food number 3, and consciousness or our thoughts number 4. Okay? Secret number 1. Did you know it's possible to have symptoms and incurable disease reversed by grocery store foods? Most people are like, Brian, I've never heard that. My doctor's never told me about that. You're right, he hasn't. He's not going to. So I invite you to reconsider maybe the information that I'm giving you could very well change your life if you decide to take a hold of it and execute it. Here's what I have seen reversed. Heart disease, fibromyalgia, cancer, diabetes, ADD, ADHD, insomnia, high blood pressure, bad cholesterol, and many more. Asthma, specifically, we'll have a couple stories about. But here's the deal. Here's what you can also do. Maybe you're not in one of those situations where you have some of those symptoms. Here's what's also possible for you. It's possible to balance your hormones with your foods. It's possible to improve your mood. It's possible to improve the quality of sleep, which makes a dramatic difference on how you show up in life. It's possible to manage your stress better. It's possible to reverse aging. It's possible to look healthier and improve your natural energy levels, all with food. Even if you're healthy, it can still get better. And ultimately, what does every person on the planet want to feel? I can let you sit on that for a second. I'm going to take a sip. I have you think that every person on the planet only wants to feel better. That's it. If I can feel better than I already feel, man, that's amazing. It's possible. Okay. So here's my client, longtime friend, Carol Martin. She's actually 73 years old. Well, she came down with asthma in her early 20s, and she was an avid tennis player. Like, that was her passion, her favorite pastime, to play tennis. And what happened was she came down with debilitating asthma in her early 20s. Well, she had it bad. Like, literally, she had to move to Arizona to try out different climates. She had multiple professionals from around the world work with her. And here's the only thing, is that she had to stop playing tennis. She could do no more exercise. She had multiple inhalers, multiple types of drugs, no alleviation. So let me tell you a little bit about a story when Carol and I actually started working together about 3 years ago. This is when I was personal training. Came to the gym, had a conversation, sat down, decided to start doing some stuff, and we started to work out. And here's what happened. Basically, we would do a little bit of an exercise for 20 minutes, and I'm talking body weight exercises. I'm not talking about anything squats, kettlebells, nothing crazy. I'm maybe talking like a prone plank, nothing crazy, okay? We would work out for 20 seconds and take a break for a minute for her to catch her breath. We did this for the whole workout, okay? So at the end of the session, I said, hey, Carol, let's try out a couple things, okay? I said, let's try out 2 kiwis tomorrow. Let's try out some fish oils, specifically the EPA, and let's see how this works, okay? She comes back the next day and started working out, no break. Kept working out, no break. Kept working out, no break. Kept working out, no break. This kept up for an hour, and I sat there baffled. I'm like, hold on. I was like, surely did this work? I said, Carol, what'd you do? Why? How in the world is this happening? And is this possible? You have had your life ripped out from under your feet for over 40 years, and here it is today. You come in here, and now you can work out with no issue at all. Breathing capacity is amazing, and you made it through a whole workout where yesterday you couldn't even work out for 20 seconds straight without having to take a break. What gives? She said, well, I did exactly what you told me to. I started eating a couple kiwis. I started on the fish oils that you told me to, and this is what happened. Now, this is one of those stories where if I hadn't experienced it myself, I'd say, you crazy. It's no way. No way. No way kiwi's going to do that for someone. And here's what I invite you to consider. Our bodies are amazingly designed, and we put the nutrients in there that are specifically designed toxicity-free to aid whatever symptom that's showing up in the body. There's a specific food that works for that symptom, and it works every time, and there's no toxicity to it. If I hadn't seen this myself, I would have freaking just been like, you're kidding me. It's still baffled. It's still an amazing story. And it's so much story that there's one of my clients is going to give a testimonial here shortly, and you're actually going to see what I'm talking about. That way you can get my way out of it and see her specifically. So actually, here's Chef Johnny Carino. If you've ever heard of Carino's Restaurant, this is actually one of Chris's clients, and Chris helps him on a pretty regular basis. So we're just going to let you kind of listen to Johnny for a second.
Hi, folks. This is Chef Johnny Carino speaking to you from my home here in Atlanta about Chris Bamberg. I just need to tell you, for the last 3-4 years or so, I have struggled with my very own health issues. I am an expert in the restaurant industry. I'm a great chef. When it comes to help, sometimes you need to reach out to other people. That's why I reach out and I trust Chris to help me with my plans on eating, being healthy, and ways to beat my diabetes. Chris is A1 in my books.
Chris has made some amazing strides with Johnny. So here's the next term. Have you ever heard of the term self-directed neuroplasticity? Sounds pretty fancy, doesn't it? Well, this is another one of those terms I just heard about a couple years ago, and I'm going to share with you and share exactly what it is. But secret number 2, did you know that it's possible to recognize and transform your self-sabotage into your self-empowerment immediately? I'm not talking about wait till tomorrow. Not talking about, oh, what did I do to screw up and why am I getting these results in my life and how can I change it? No, I'm talking about your body's going to let you know right then. And as your consciousness change, as your mindset change, as your tools change, and as you understand these secrets and implement in your life, you too can execute this immediately and create different results in your life that you actually desire to create versus just settling for what you have. And I invite you to think that everything that you have going on in your life, you have some way, form, or fashion created or settled with, good or bad or indifferent, okay? So here's how you can take words of empowerment and recognize it. There are limiting belief patterns that we all have that were completely been passed down by mom and dad that we're probably unaware of. They're by our environment, by our society, by our friends, by the information we constantly hear, by the news. All of that stuff makes an indentation on what we are able to do with our lives. Codependent relationships is a massive one. For example, if you say, you know what? I hate it when you do that and it makes me feel such and such. That means you're in a codependent relationship. That means you're giving your power away and you are completely dependent upon whoever it is you're in that relationship with that will dictate how you feel. It's possible to recognize words of self-sabotage. It's possible to change procrastination and change it right on the spot. And it is possible to recognize it by what your body is telling you. You may have heard me do a video yesterday, the day before, on how our body feels when we're in fear, when we're in sadness, when we're in anger. Your body is constantly communicating. Even right now, your body is probably scratching your nose, scratching your eyebrows, moving around, scratching. And here's what I invite you to consider is that your body is communicating with me right now. 85% of our communication is done nonverbal, and you're not just itching. Where are you? Understand that when your body is communicating subconsciously, your body will create chemical reactions all over your body in different places that represent different pieces of communication that help to create your experience and also give you feedback on how you can change it when you're not experiencing what you desire. So here's my favorite part about the whole training. It's a sing-along time, okay? And I think it's important for you to understand this because until you actually feel what I'm talking about, it's very potentially difficult for you to say, oh, I can see what you're talking about, because it's all about how you feel that's going to create experiences, people, situations, and events that match those feelings. So if you feel angry, if you feel sad, if you feel bad and upset, you're going to get more experiences that create more of that feeling. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. We're going to say these 3 times. Okay, here's what it's going to go like. I'm going to say, I have to, I get to. I have to, I get to. Here's what you're going to do. Say it 3 times out loud. It's okay. You can practice and just do it by yourself. Just see how it feels. 3 times. Ready? I have to, I get to. I have to, I get to. I have to, I get to. Okay, so what did you notice? Did you notice? Well, here's what I noticed, and maybe there's some things you can resonate with. I noticed that when I say I have to, I get tight in my chest, my shoulders slunch over. I feel stress immediately. Okay. Now, when I say I get to, automatically my voice volume changes, my chest opens up. I don't feel constricted. I feel empowered. Okay. I say I get to all the time. I don't use I have to. Okay, I don't have to do anything. I choose to and I get to, because your egoic and my egoic mind does not want to have to do anything. So when you can understand that, it allows you to position certain words in that help to ease the process. So here's the next one. Okay, ready? I need to, I choose to. I need to, I choose to. I need to, I choose to. Okay, so what did you notice about those? How did you feel? Did you feel any constriction? Did you feel any loosen it up? Did you feel your butt relax? Because what happens when I say I need to, my butt clenches up like, okay? I choose to, nice and relaxed, okay? Here is the genetic lie. Through the medical community, we are taught that we are slaves to our genes, and it's not wrong. That's just their understanding. So this is, I think, is a very valuable piece of information you should know. Less than 6% of our graduating physicians have a minimum of 3 hours of education of nutritional credits. That's really no more than knowing what a protein, carbohydrate, and a fat is. It's not that much, and it's definitely not enough to support you for you to thrive with your mind, body, and spirit. The genetic lie. 75 to 85% of our genetic code is expressive and recessive by our control through our environment. That is promising. Okay, that means that our thinking, our feeling, our beliefs, our diet, when I say diet, that's our lifestyle around nutrition. Okay, that means our stress and our environment are all indicators of what's going to show up in our genes, whether we recess heart disease that quote unquote runs in our family. That's unnecessary. Okay. So here's what I invite you to consider. This is by a gentleman by the name of Bruce Lipton. He is an amazing individual. He also is the one that wrote The Biology of Belief. I'm going to read something to you specifically quoted from his book to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. The science of signal transduction focuses upon the biochemical pathways by which cells respond to environmental cues. Environmental signals engage cytoplasmic processes that can alter gene expression and thereby control cell fate, influence cell movement, control cell survival, or even sentence a cell to death, which is known as apoptosis. Signal transduction science recognizes that the fate and behavior of an organism is directly linked to its perception of its environment. I'm going to read that one more time. Signal transduction science recognizes that the fate and behavior of an organism / person is directly linked to its perception of its environment. In simple terms, the character of our life is based upon how we perceive it. And here's something else. More is caught than taught. I'm going to say that one more time. More is caught than taught. For example, you learn more by watching your mom and dad and brothers and sisters operate in life than you ever learn by them teaching you things. Meaning we see and we do. So if you were seeing things that were limiting your beliefs in whatever area of your life, that's more than likely what you are operating off of unknowingly. Which also means that on the flip side is there's a lot available for things to change and to grow and to transition into higher things that serve your purpose on a higher level, mind, body, and spirit. Here is secret number 3. This is my favorite. It is possible to make it fun and easy. Common statements that create exactly what they say that you may be using right now. This is hard work. I'll worry about that tomorrow. I'm so stressed. I have to get this done. I need to. I must. Holy cow. Cancel, clear, all of that. How did you feel saying that? Do you notice that these things you be using today, yesterday? How do these resonate with you? Do you find yourself using these statements often? Well, here's the deal. If you do, it's not wrong. And there's upgraded statements that can completely change your stress levels, which will change the amount of times you get sick, which will change how you show up to your relationships because you're not having underwire stress going on that's affecting your communication, your ability to connect with your partner, your ability to connect at work, your ability to not sabotage yourself with your food and your workouts. All of this is by our language, okay? Old model. Only trusting your health to your doctor and not adjusting your lifestyle choices, taking medications to manage your symptoms. Our negative thought patterns create self-sabotage and disconnection, judgment, chaos, and destruction. Buying expensive supplements and diet pills. Viewing life's obstacles as hard or too much work and stressful. Now imagine this. We've gone a little bit of ways. I've opened some files of some information for you. So now, picture yourself with the energy that you've never had or that you've had early in life, and now you're just reconnecting with it. Now imagine that you're wearing the clothes that you wore at your best. You can zip them up without having to suck in. Everything fits right and precise, just like you admire, just like you'd like it to. Imagine you're enjoying your life pain-free. Imagine your relationships are more connected and healed. Imagine relationships that you could be suffering from that have done damage and you haven't figured out how to reconnect and how to forgive. This is possible. Imagine that you no longer require going to the doctor every month to get your freaking prescription filled to just giving you more crap and toxicity. Imagine you save that money and invest it in yourself and feel better than you ever have. Imagine that you immediately recognize self-sabotage and turn it into self-empowerment, and you stop creating the cyclical pain that you used to have in your past. Here's the new model. You can take full responsibility right now for your health, well-being, and your future. We invite you to consider that new positive thinking will drive new thoughts, feelings, results, and outcomes. We invite you to learn about the power of grocery store foods, not expensive supplements. Life is a choice, and you can choose to make it fun and easy. We've just shared a ton of information with you in a very short amount of time. And honestly, we don't expect you to learn and remember all that of 40 years of wisdom in an hour. Can I ask you a question though? Did you find value in experiencing or feeling and seeing the different choices that I presented to you? If yes, imagine how fast and dramatic your results can be in your life with us supporting you and helping you implement this in your life today. Here is Violet. This is one of my clients. I invite you to listen in. Here's what's available to you.
Hi, my name is Violet. I choose to take a few minutes and talk to you about my experience with reaching out to Brian. About 6 months ago, I contacted Brian. I just had some questions about nutrition, different things I could change up just to start feeling better. And we also talked about different medications I was on at the time. He mentioned foods that specifically could do the same thing as what the medications were doing, except naturally. And so along with that, and the other list of things that he said to try, I started doing that immediately. And after about a month, I started to wean myself off of one of my medications. And then after I got off that one, I started weaning myself off another medication. And after 3 months, I had gotten off of 5 medications. Some of these medications I was on for 30 years, some I was on for 15 years, and some I was on for 10 years. And so these were things that I thought I was going to have to take for the rest of my life. Before that conversation with Brian, I didn't even realize that there was another option. And, it's been 6 months since, I talked to him about these, specific things, and 3 months of being completely off medicine. And I really am so happy and thankful and grateful for Brian and for the work that he does, and just the love that he has for people, and showing them that they have other options, that they can feel good just with the right information. And I just feel really blessed to have that opportunity to talk to him about those things going on in my health and my diet, and that he's so knowledgeable and just really helpful, and offers you this opportunity to change your life. And that's at least the way I look at it, because I look at this more than just, I'm off medication. To me, it's a miraculous act, to be able to say I'm free from all of this. And it's also given me, such a sense of empowerment too, to know that, doctors couldn't do this, go to my grocery store and did this. So it's kind of wild, but definitely grateful for it. Thank you.
So hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully it resonated with you, because Violet's life has changed dramatically, and it's not just hers. I've seen this done with thousands of people consistently, and it's I expect it nowadays. That's how normal it is. It's a massive blessing that we can actually share specifically with you. And here's your invitation to join us. Here's what we're offering you. Here's what you get. 4 online trainings, all about recognizing self-sabotage and clearing it. That's a $497 value. You'll have access to the recordings if you miss a live session. You will also receive our Healthy Eating digital recipe book at a $60 value. Your total investment at this point is $557. Here's what you get also. Here's bonus number 1. We have a secret Facebook group for our clients, which would be you, where you can ask questions, you get community support. We create and post exclusive content in there specifically for you as a valued member. And you also have like-minded individuals that you get to share your journey with and have support and have people to connect with. So here's what you get. You get the 4 live trainings, recognizing self-sabotage and clearing it. It's a $497 value. You get access to the recordings if you miss the live sessions. You'll also receive our healthy eating digital recipe book at a $60 value. Bonus number 1, you receive 2 months free access to our closed paid membership site, Think Great Nutrition. That's an $80 value. Your total investment will be $647. Now, here's bonus number 2. You're actually going to get, and this is only for the first 10 people, you're going to get the healing power of grocery store foods, like the kiwi we discussed, the avocado for reversing crazy illnesses, the coconut used for HIV protocols and lowering HIV and viral blood counts. You will get one of these videos, and it's for the first 10 people only, that has all the grocery store stuff that you've seen me mention on some of my grocery store videos at the store. This will be yours. So here's what you get. 4 live webinars all about recognizing your self-sabotage and clearing it on the spot, $497. Access to the recordings if you miss the live sessions. You will also receive our healthy eating recipe book at a $60 value. Here's the bonuses. You will receive 2 months free access to our closed membership site, paid closed membership site, where we have exclusive content at an $80 value. You will also receive 1 of our grocery store wisdom videos at a $200 value. This information is what produced Violet's outcome of the testimony that you just saw. This is an $887 value. Here's bonus number 3. This is only for the first 5 people. Okay? You receive a consultation of 30 minutes where we will discuss whatever your little heart desires with Chris or myself, either one, for the first 5 people only. So let me give you a little understanding. I charge people $2,000 an hour for my time. I have well over $500,000 in education that I've invested in over my lifetime, and I get trained by some of the best people in the world. Humbly speaking, God has blessed me to bless you. This is what you get for free for 30 minutes. That's a $250 value. Nutrition. Here's the things that we can discuss. Nutrition, emotional breakthrough, self-sabotage, exercise advice, lifestyle coaching, symptom-specific support, and body language translation. Here's what you get, all in a nutshell. You'll receive 4 live webinars all about receiving self-sabotage and clearing it on the spot, $497 value. You get access to the recordings if you miss the live sessions. You can review these and fine-tooth comb them and go over them, take notes, go over them, take notes. This will change your life if you show up and do the work. You will receive our healthy eating digital recipe book at a $60 value. You also, your bonuses, you will receive 2 months free access to our closed paid membership site where we post exclusive content specifically for you as a valued member. That's an $80 value. You will also receive one of our grocery store wisdom videos that has all the stuff that Violet just talked about that I helped her implement to reverse those 5 medications. You will receive 1 30-minute consultation with one of us at a $250 value. Your total investment will be $1,087. Now, can you see why if I were to offer you this at $500 that it would be an amazing deal? It would be an amazing deal. I've seen many things happen with this information. Now, here's the thing. For the general public, we would charge $299 for this product. But since you stayed till the end, here's what you get, and here's what I promised you. Today, you can join into our community and get our information and our support for only $144 today. That means that you don't go out to eat 4 times, and you've just changed your life by understanding how to apply nutrition, how to understand your mindset, and how to probably take your life back into your own control. And that way you're not leaving it to anyone by chance. This offer only stands tonight before 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Here's our guarantee to you. If for any reason you are unsatisfied with our product in the first 2 weeks, give us a call. We'll refund your money. No questions asked. We love you. We support you. We have full faith in our information and our abilities to support you at the utmost highest level, and we guarantee our information to you. So here's the deal. Special offers today for only $144. And I'm just closing this out. So welcome back. I kept us in 10 minutes before 7 o'clock. Hopefully you got great value out of this information. And that was only an hour conversation. And we didn't even get into the content yet. We're just opening some files to help you understand what's available to you. So hopefully you took this seriously, and hopefully you take your health seriously, and hopefully you understand that $144 investment for what we're sharing with you is pennies on the dollar for what we have invested in time and resources and education with our coaches and people that have shared information with us. So I love you. I support you. I vote your victory, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you and truly helping you to change your life and take the power back and release yourself from whatever prison you may be in right now to reclaim your life with the energy, wearing the clothes that you choose, not having to suck your gut in when you button your pants up, all that stuff. So remember, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. And if you sign up and enroll, in 10 minutes, we start Mindset Series number 4, so you get to rock and roll. And if you do, shoot me a message. That way I can include you in the group. I got 9 minutes before it starts. I love you. Have an awesome night. Bye-bye.